Hello, welcome to Restorative Yoga. And today is all about stress relief. The props are going to do the work and you're just going to be there. And once we get going, I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking in the poses. So there's not really a general theme. It's just whatever your intention needs to be. I will remind you to come back to your breath though. Okay. That being said, prop wise, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, about 6, 7 blankets technically because I'm sitting on one. You may not need that many, but I will show you how to stack blankets for those that don't have a bolster or a real sturdy cushion to do some of these poses. And then if you don't have blocks, you can always use folded blankets just like that to achieve similar goals. Blankets are also really nice to help fill in spaces. They are nice as a little weight when you don't have a sandbag to go across the belly, which is really grounding. And they're also nice to snuggle up in so you don't get cold because sometimes the temperature, your body temperature, can drop sometimes in restorative yoga. So that being said, let's start in a comfortable seat. We'll come to a little bit of an opening first. Sitting nice and tall, ears, shoulders, and hips in alignment, zipping up that front body. You can close your eyes or keep your gaze forward, but cast down in front of you. And to facilitate grounding and relaxation, I'm going to turn my palms down here. Good. And I'm just going to work on settling in, expanding that rib cage as I inhale. If you're not really sure how to do that, kind of consider almost a breathing into the back body. So now, like when a medical professional puts a stethoscope on your back and they ask you to breathe deep, you suddenly start to breathe into the back body, into that stethoscope. It's similar to that. Good. Let's take the fingers to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 reach. Looking up there. Exhale, bringing hands into heart center. Creating an intention for your practice. What would you like to give or receive? So for me, this is all about stress relief, relaxation, inner calm, letting go, all of those things. And once you have that set, let's inhale and reach. Let's take a nice gentle side bend to the left. Sits bones will ground, just reaching over, breathing and expanding. And moving through center, take that right into the other side. Breathing and expanding, keeping that top arm long. Get a little bit of a better stretch there. And then we'll come back up and reach and rotate to the left. Arms are going to come down, rolling shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you, letting shoulders release here. This front shoulder, could you take it back just a little bit? And you might get a little bit of a stretch here when you do that. And lifting up, moving through center, other side, arms come down, rolling shoulders back, front shoulders back as you look a little bit behind you. And when you're ready, we're going to lift up and come back. So from here, let's just do about 4 rounds of box breathing. We'll go to 4. So we'll inhale, hold, exhale, hold for 4. So take a big exhale to prepare. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Release, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Return to normal breath. All right, let's get into our first restorative pose. So I'm not really sure what this one is called. Some people call it kind of a version of locust. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my blocks, and again, you can use folded blankets, and I'm just going to kind of angle them in. So this is where my shoulders are going to rest. So my head is going to kind of come down in between. And then I'm going to take this blanket that I was just sitting on. I'm going to fold it this way. Okay. I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to take my bolster and lie right on top of that. So it's at a little bit of an incline here. Okay. But not, I don't want it to be too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lie down on my belly. And as I do that, I want my legs to kind of come up here. So it's going to be more kind of like this. Too far forward. So you just want the shins and the legs to be up there. Okay. And then from here, I'm just going to kind of build this up a little bit. Right. So where my shoulders are resting on my block and my arms are to my side. Now I'm going to let my head hang down here. However, if you are someone that needs a little bit of support under there, then you can put another block. You can put a folded blanket, something like that under there for you to have that support. We're going to try to be here for about 4 minutes. 4 minutes. And I really want you to think about taking some nice big inhales here. And exhales. Notice how my spine is just really working on releasing here. Again, if you don't have blocks to put under the shoulders, you can do folded blankets under there. If at any time this doesn't become comfortable, come out. And turn to intention in your breath. Big inhale, big exhale. Release the hips and the ankles, returning to the breath. Mhm. From here, carefully lift the head up a little bit. You can slide the legs off the bolster. Carefully take the blocks or whatever you are using for shoulder support in front of you, hands under the shoulders, and we'll press back here. While we're here just for a moment before we transition to a supported back bend, let's take a few little cat cows here if that would feel good to you. And then once you're ready, good. We're going to set up for a supported back bend. So this one we're only going to do for a couple minutes. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my bolster. Now, again, if you don't have a bolster, you see kind of how thick it is. You can take probably about 3 folded blankets here to simulate the height of that bolster. It should be just like that. Okay. Um, I am going to leave these right here for now. I'm going to take my bolster and I'm just going to leave this folded blanket down here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to lay on this bolster. So I want my whole torso from tailbone to at least the upper back to be on this bolster. Okay. So then when I lay back here, actually that's too far. Good. I want my shoulders and head to be off. Now, if you're someone where this is too much for whatever reason, you can bring in a blanket here so you have a little bit more support. And actually, that feels pretty good to me. So I'm going to leave that there. Good. And then you're going to let your leg just kind of come forward and rest on that blanket or whatever it is that you have down there. If you're someone that's going to relax too much and you feel like your legs are going to roll off of here, I will show you a trick that you can do with your blanket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unfold this blanket. So it's about half folded, just like this. Good. And then I'm going to roll this up like a long roll, like we do sometimes if we were going to do a spinal roll and lay on the spine. Which is another option if a lot of if this a little bit of extension is too much for the back, but you want something really relaxing for the back. An option is to take the spinal roll and lay across it. So head's going to be on the roll and your tailbone's going to be on the roll. It feels lovely. It goes right along the spine. I do not recommend that one. However, if you've got a bulging disc or something like that. So from here, if you're afraid of kind of rolling off, back spot. You can take a blanket, probably do this for a lay down, kind of wrap that around here. Good. And then that will hold your legs in place so that they don't flop off. Good. So from here, once you're in place, good. 2 minutes, breathe. That blanket's in the way here. Let down. Returning the breath, breathe and expand. Return to your intention. Let go of the neck and the throat. And then when you're ready, carefully come up from there. And we will undo our props and we'll set up for our next one. So careful not to get up too fast here, especially if you have, a blood pressure issue or something along those lines. That actually felt pretty good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to build this into an incline. We're going to use it as an incline twist today. So I'm going to grab my blocks here. Again, if you don't have blocks, you can build this up with folded blankets. I'm going to take a block here, just like this, and another block back here, just like this, from up just like that. Good. And then some people, not all people, like a little bit of a cushion or softness at the base. So I'm just going to kind of take my blanket folded like this and put down here. Good. And then I'm going to make sure that I've got a lot of blanket handy. So the reason for that is I want a little headrest up here. And then I'm going to take a blanket and cover up with it, or at least have my feet and shoulders covered up. So you can kind of undo your blanket the way that you need to. So to get into this incline twist, I'm sitting up against my bolster. My feet are to the side. My knees are relatively stacked. If this isn't good for you and it's just better for you to take your legs forward or to, have one leg long, one knee bent, that's all fine. It's all about comfort. So kind of be where you need to be there. And you know what? I didn't put a base blanket down today. So this is going to be my base blanket. I'm going to use a different blanket. Yep. There we go. So from here, I'm up against, nice and tall. I'm going to rotate. I'm going to come down. Good. I've got my little head pillow here, so I'm going to look towards you to start. I'm just going to kind of bring this in a little bit here. Make sure I've got the timer. This will be 3 minutes here, 3 minutes. Huddle in. And just let yourself just settle into your blankets, your bolster, your cushion, whatever it is that you're using. Come back to release. Come back to the breath. The breath won't be as deep. You're a little bit kind of crunched up here in the lungs. We'll find a good breath here. And release any holding in the shoulders, the knees, the hips, the feet. From here, carefully, carefully come up. Good. Notice how you feel. Maybe a little bit more one side than the other. So we're going to balance that out. So I'm just going to leave all of this where it is, and I'm just going to turn to the other side. So, so hip is up against your bolster or the prop. Good. You're going to take your legs or your feet, however you need to take them. You can cuddle up here with a blanket if you want to. And then from nice tall sit, good, I'm going to rotate. I'm going to come down. It'll be 3 minutes here. And if this is too much, you know, on the shoulders or the arms hanging down here, you can always put a folded blanket up underneath your forearm if you need a little bit of support. Release the shoulders, the hips, the knees, the feet. Return the breath. Very carefully, gently, come up. And then from here, I'm just going to turn and face forward. So we're going to come into a supine Baddha Konasana, also known as a reclined butterfly position. So we're just going to leave all of this right here. Let me just double check, make sure that's down. Good. Okay. So I'm just going to leave this all right here. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring back my spinal roll that we use to hold our legs for the back bend. So if you didn't use that, go ahead and do your little roll. And what you're going to do with that is you're going to help it, use it to support you. So I'm going to bring my feet, the soles of the feet together, just like we were doing a cobbler's pose. And then I'm going to take that long roll on top of my feet. And then I'm going to take that I'm just going to kind of stick it through here. So I've kind of made a little bit of a circle in here. Now I've got a little bit of support. You can also do that support by taking blankets, folding them this way if you need more support, and putting them under there. I'm going to use these blankets for a little bit of arm support here on each side. Good. And then this blanket, you can use to cover up with if you want to do that. I am actually going to do a little trick here. I should have brought another blanket out of all things, right? So I'm going to fold this one back up, and I'm going to use this as a weight in place of a sandbag, which I do have, but they're a little tricky to use and not everybody has those. I'm going to pull this blanket up to kind of cover my feet or yourself with just a little bit. Okay. And so then when I lie back here, good. I'm at a nice incline. Everything should be supported. So that low back needs to be supported no matter what if you're lying back here. So if it's not, put another blanket under there. This is going to be just like a little weight just right across my lap. And then I'm just going to relax right here. Okay. So we're going to do this one for 4 minutes. And once you get into place, kind of settle in and breathe. So hips and knees should be supported. Arms, shoulders should be supported. The back is supported. Everything is supported. Get into your nice big breath. And turning another breath. So from here, again, very gently open the eyes in the way that's best for your body. For me, I'm going to take my hands back a little bit. I'm going to tuck the chin, and I'm going to come back up. Good. So hopefully that felt lovely. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go prepare for Shavasana. Now, if this incline feels really good to you and you want to stay in an incline for your Shavasana, but maybe not necessarily your feet together version, you can simulate another bolster by stacking your blankets. Okay. So you're kind of in here, legs are over here, and you're here, and this is a way to feel nice and lovely. I, however, am going to go into a more traditional restorative Shavasana. So I am going to take my bolster down on this end. Actually, you know what? I'm going to really get deep. So I'm going to just really reconfigure. And I do apologize. This was my own fault. I'm cleaning through here today, so I did not remember to make a nice base blanket that makes things feel really good. So I'm going to do that real quick. Next, I'm just going to fold it in half long ways. Here, nice soft. I'm going to take one of these blankets for a nice neck pillow back here. These I don't need, so I'm going to move them to the side. Then I'm going to make some little arm supports here. My blankets on each side of me. And then I come in, I'm going to have my bolster under my legs. I'm going to take a blanket here and cover up. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this other blanket. I'm going to use it as a little weight over my torso as well. I think I am set. So a nice thing about restorative here, if you're interested in other little props, you can do sandbags. Sandbags are wonderful as a little weight, both at the feet and at the belly. You can also kind of take it right across here, depending. There are hand weights that you can get that kind of support you as well. So whatever you need, eye pillows are also great. Good. We're going to do this one for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. To really kind of make sure you're at a place where you can be comfortable, and then see if you can make yourself about 10% more comfortable. Right? Yeah, there we go. And then we will be here for our final relaxation. Again, allow the body to sink into your space. Feel the expansion of the breath as you should surrender to the earth. Returning the breath. From here, very, very slowly, start to take some deeper breaths and head and neck from side to side. Just as an FYI, if you wanted to repeat this on video, I recommend a nice kitchen timer or a stopwatch and spending about 10 to 15 minutes in your Shavasana position for full relaxation. Good. Invite the movement of fingers and toes. And from here, if you've got some props on top of you as a little weight, just gently take that to the side. You can bend your knees a little bit more and remove the bolster, anything out from underneath them if you chose that version. And just keep the knees bent for a moment. Belly button is in tight. Just gentle windshield wiper the knees from side to side. If it would feel better to you to take knees into the chest, you can do that here as well. And then when you're ready, carefully folding over to your side. You can still be on the bolster if you did incline, or you can come off. Taking all the time and space here that you need. And when you're ready, we're going to come up to a seated position, a normal seated position. Get nice and slow. We've been down for a while. Find a comfortable seat for you. Noticing how you feel, hopefully calmer. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up, inhale and reach, taking palms up overhead. As you bring those hands down, stop the thumbs right in front of the forehead for good and true thought. To the lips for good and kind words, and to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. Thank you so much for practicing restorative yoga with me today. Have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, season ahead. Thank you so much. Namaste.